Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Leverage with my good mate Lewis Bell and my other good mate Jayden Anderson jumping in tonight and co-hosting. How are we, boys?
Bloody good, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Had a good week?
Always a good week, mate. Tuesday night's my favourite night.
It's
Leverage.
my favourite night too because I get to hang out with you. I like you.
Oh, that's really kind of you to say, mate.
I know.
I like me too.
I like Jayden more. How are you, Jayden?
I'm pretty good, mate. Doing well.
Mate, where are you based?
I am in Perth, just south of Perth, in a town called Mandurah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Mandurah. That's a huge area for fly in, fly out and stuff like that, isn't it, these days?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like a lot of it used to be like a bit of a retiree sort of place. Like it's all on the canals and yeah, it's all like basically what are we known for? The blue manna crabs when crab season's in and all that sort of stuff. So it's like a crabbing sort of town as well.
Yeah, right.
What it's known for.
Sounds like Amsterdam built on the canals. Hey, mate, I'll just go straight to you if you don't mind. What got you into trading?
What got me into trading was something that I was always curious about. Like I've always looked at charts, but I had no idea what I was looking at. All I knew that people were making money from it, and a lot of money from it had the potential. All I knew is I just had to figure out a way to learn it. And it sort of came to a point in time when COVID came in. I was running my business, which was a bar in hospitality. So COVID shut my business down. So I was looking around trying to find a side hustle and jumped on a few crypto groups and come across, this group and just seeing how people wasn't really affected in this group from COVID at all whatsoever. And it was just pretty good to realize, this is sort of the group that I want to stick with, and that's sort of what I want to do.
Yeah, right. And so you've been in the space, what, 2 years roughly, therefore?
Yeah, maybe just coming up 2 years now, yeah.
Yeah, right. And what's your favorite kind of thing to trade, or are you into NFTs and stuff like that? Give us a quick summary of what your trading day looks like.
Basically, do my charts first thing in the morning, set my alerts sort of stuff. With the NFTs sort of thing, I'm more just interested in the passive income ones. I own a couple of those, just basically so I can focus more on my trading as I know I get a little bit better each day and just let the NFTs do that passive income in the background. That's really about it. But I do also, I do spend a lot of time looking at charts and do a fair bit of back testing and all that sort of stuff too, trying to figure out what's right for me.
Yeah, nice. And so with respect to, giving advice to someone who's just starting out or, someone, what have you learned in that 2 years?
What I've learned is basically there is rules like that you need to stick by. Like when you need to make a trade plan and you do need to stick by it. After I realized I started like changing things around and just started veering off a lot and tried a lot of different things and just totally went a different direction and just ended up making a mess of a lot of it and started confusing myself and realized once I went back to the basics and back to where I sort of started, everything just sort of started coming back a little bit more. So to anyone that's new, just try and find your plan and stick to it as best you can and just improve on that plan.
And how's your current situation with respect to Bitcoin kind of not really making up its mind? Have you learned anything in this kind of last month or 2 or 3?
Well, yes, with this market now, like I normally trade on the 4 and 1 hour, just same as most of us on the break and retest. But as soon as Bitcoin makes like a heavy move and it starts going sideways, I tend to get really impatient and I want to try and get some trades in just for my own analysis sort of thing and end up finding myself forcing trades. So that's where I sort of end up veering off a little bit for like a little backup plan and try and learn like another little scalping strategy on the side sort of thing. So still essentially have like 2 different styles where I can sort of still trade within both market conditions.
Yep. And Brody's big on the masterclass chat with respect to the scalping strategy, and there's been a few other guys jumping in and sharing that kind of thing. Lewis, you might back me here. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin at the moment, mate?
Well, I'll chuck my screen up quickly, and I've just got a bit of analysis done up on it. I think you might just need to enable screen sharing.
Sorry, buddy.
Didn't do it before I passed your host, mate.
Yeah,
Sorry.
cheers, mate. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Well played.
Thank you, mate.
Well
Thank
played.
you. Well done. You figured it out. I'm proud
I
of you.
did. I'm tech savvy.
Yeah, so I was just sort of looking like we're just wedged again. We're in one of these periods where we lost that major support. Sort of through this whole zone here. We were stuck there for, when was that? Sort of since June. And then, yeah, we broke through that with some serious force at this point here. And now we're sort of just stuck in another descending triangle. So our new bottom is sort of this zone here and that sort of 15,600 mark. This is our second sort of touch on that zone that we're in at the moment. So I don't know. We're just it's this indecision period. Like, it's a descending triangle, so descending triangles statistically break downwards. If it does break downwards, like, where are we going? Like, where's the next bottom? Where's my other? So I think this is the older Bitcoin chart from a long time ago. So if you're looking at a chart, look, for instance, like if you're trading on OKX, and you won't have a lot of history on a lot of OKX charts because the exchange hasn't been around as long as other ones like Bitstamp and Binance and that sort of stuff. So if you're looking at for instance, if you're looking at the Bitcoin chart on OKX, that data is only going to go back to, where are we here? So you've only got data sort of back to end of 2019, so you can't see that previous sort of market structure that goes all the way back. So you can open up something like this, which goes like this has got Bitcoin from 2012. So like Bitstamp was one of the first exchanges that started trading Bitcoin. So open up this one, and you've got all of this market structure you can see in the past. So we've this is pretty old, but so we've broken that significant support level we were holding for nearly 6 months there. We've dropped down. Where do I think the next bottom's going to be if we lose this current level right now? Probably like in this zone here, like somewhere between like 12 and 10K realistically, because there's just no structure really between those levels. So and when you run other metrics on Bitcoin, like comparing its previous bull and bear cycles, like it's historically between sort of 75 and 85% retracement from all-time high before it bottoms out, before like the next bull run will begin. And like an 85% retracement from this all-time high here it matches up with that sort of zone, that 10 to 12K zone. Like that's 85% pretty much down to that zone. So that's sort of my predictions, but it's all really hinging on what we do at this level here. In this little descending triangle.
Can I
find support, but yeah.
Can I just get you to go over that, because you went over it pretty quick? Am I right in saying that when you're drawing a BTC OKX chart, it only dates back to 2019-ish?
Correct.
And then when you use a Bitcoin Bitstamp chart, which you can just search for and get, you can actually get a bit more data, so you can get a bit more of a bearing on where it's come from. Yeah, is that what you said?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yep. For those that don't know how to do it, like if you search BTC USD or USDT, depending what sort of pair you want to look at, but like the USD pairs have been around longer than any Tether pairs. But if you search it in TradingView, just BTC USD, this is which exchange you're looking at on the side here.
Yep.
Really important to know. So, but yeah, Bitstamp's pretty much the oldest one as far as information goes for Bitcoin anyway. I don't know how much it rolls with other pairs really, but yeah, Bitcoin especially, if you're trying to do some sort of deep dive analysis on it, that's your best one to look at really. So
yeah, right.
But yeah, definitely still very bearish. Definitely like look at our moving averages. Like we're still well and truly trending below our moving averages. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a bit of sideways action again, potentially like a slight retracement just to close the gap on some of these moving averages a little bit, and potentially another leg down. Yeah, so that's sort of where I'm sitting. But if like a bit of a deep dive market analysis, if you will, like, so the Fed has just raised interest rates another 50 basis points last week in America. That'll flow on to the rest of the world essentially. They're still the standard when it comes to that sort of stuff. economic impact from a Fed interest rate rise, you're looking at about 9 months for that to show to have an effect on the economy.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't really expect a bull run or any sort of significant pump in the market to happen until like the economy's essentially balanced out from all of the interest rate rises we've been experiencing for the last sort of 8-9 months. So realistically, like you're looking at, you know, that 9-month period from now, because I like all of the recent CPI stats and that sort of stuff, it sort of looks like they're starting to curb inflation a little bit. So, you know, we'll see that flow on effect in sort of 9 months time when potentially there's a bit of free cash in you know, out in the economy that can flow on into these sort of markets and that sort of stuff. So I think we're either going sideways or down from here. Potentially very short-term retracement, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Bullish.
I agree with you. Can you just zoom in on that wedge for me?
Mate, I can do that. It's in my skill set.
Did I say please? Because I should have said please. So, and can you zoom into kind of like more the hourly?
Hourly, mate.
Please,
Yep, I
please,
can do
my
that
friend.
too. It's in my skill set.
Yeah. So if you look at joining the wick on the left at the bottom in the yellow zone there, and then draw a line up to the next, so like a trend line. If you draw that up through the next wick to the right, and then keep drawing through there, would you say that Bitcoin's broken at that point? And perhaps it was more a pennant that's been broken. So that's kind of, we were talking about that in my chat last night with my guys, and it's something that you could see that way as well. So you could say that Bitcoin's already broken, you know, so if you're looking at it as a pennant, or you can look at it as a descending wedge like you've drawn it, and potentially it could go a little bit sideways. So
yeah, 100%. Like that's definitely a like symmetrical triangle sort of setup.
Yeah.
Has broken that, but I mean, once that triangle's broken, like that bottom line is now invalidated. So I mean, essentially, what you're stuck with a descending triangle. That's what we're in now. So that like the descending triangle is the follow-on effect. But yeah, if you caught that pennant and that break of that, sorry, if you caught, it's not a pennant, it's a triangle. If you caught that triangle and that break of the triangle, yeah, great short if you got in on that.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see. Like, I was never a big fan of moving averages, but have definitely been the last sort of 3 months or so. And like that would have been an awesome confirmation. Like if you, where were we? I'll just undo till I have it back. Like if you got that rejection, that lower high,
Yeah.
change in market structure inside the descending triangle, which rejected off the EMA as well. That's just juice. It's
Yeah, it
pure
was a good
juice,
one.
baby.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like that sugar reduced orange juice. I'm talking about like the full sweet juice.
Oh yeah.
Good trade.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, like the $8 one that you.
Yeah, the fancy stuff.
$8 juice. Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I saw. And John, one of my mates, put a trade into our chat and said, "How about Crow?" And Crow's played out to a T. I'll just show you that one. I'll actually just I'll override your screen share there if you don't mind.
Yeah, mate, it's all you.
So I'll just clear some of this noise off here. These ones here shouldn't be there. You see mine? See mine, Lewis?
Just do like 11 trades on one coin, just one move.
I
like that.
I was talking about how you can trade wedges, so you can trade wedges kind of up and down. But anyway, or you can do it while you're on the plane, because if you're sitting beside someone's got wedges, you definitely want some. I hate that when that happens. Just hang on, I'll have to start again. So with respect to Crow, what I did here was, hang on, now I'm completely off target. Live TV, everyone. See how good is it? So, so what I did here was I kind of found that had broken, and then we caught it around here just as it's fallen out, and I've just been kind of drawing, but that one's actually not the one I've actually in. So, but what I did here, same, I caught it as it fell kind of out of this here, and then it's formed its own little triangle here, and it's just keeping on going down. So I'm actually in that. It's looking pretty juicy at the moment. While I'm here, there's a few that I just kind of want to just highlight. Ape's kind of fallen through, so we'll gloss across that one. There's a few that are just kind of falling through the support or resistance, or sitting on them. So I don't really want to over-analyze them, but I thought that I'd just highlight a few that I've picked up. I just jumped on before and just kind of went through the start of the alphabet. Here they are here. So 1 inch was one. So that was one that's kind of trying to decide whether or not that wants to be support or resistance. So that might be something that you might want to look at. So it's been going sideways for a couple of weeks. So it's kind of just deciding, and it's just finally fallen through. It's decided today to have a bit of a test on that, push back through, push back down. So I got my eye on 1 inch just to see what it's up to. Yeah, alpha's fallen through, so we'll gloss over that one. This one here hit, just let me zoom out a bit. This one here has kind of come, and it's sitting at 50%. So there's a bit of structure here that could potentially, I'll see where that the next wick kind of goes to. If it goes up, goes down. That one could bounce up. So that's kind of counter trendish, but it could, you know, you just never know. So I've kind of got my eye on that. Could actually come back down this way as well. So just kind of ones I'm marking up. I'm not necessarily going to enter any of these tonight or anything, but just keeping a good eye on it. This one seems to have fallen through and bounced off the same spot 3 times. So I'll just put another line there. And you can see it's just kind of like just bouncing pretty severely. So I'm just kind of going to see where that goes, up or down. That's Appy 3. This one I quite like the fact that it's formed something kind of over a longer period of time. So this trend line here actually goes all the way back to the start of November. So it's kind of following that. So it's squeezing in there. So another one I'm just going to kind of keep my eye on is Atom. Trying to go fast so I don't put you all to sleep. ASX is another one that's kind of hanging around that resistance / support, depending on deciding which one it wants to be. So that's something no one really discussed this wick. Check this wick out. Boom.
Yeah,
went to
wow.
$13 from $6, basically doubled in price in 1 hour. So that was a massive wick. So catching that one on the way up or the way down, if anyone's out there that did that, that is crazy. But that's some serious volatility there. So yeah, it's kind of hanging around down here. It's fallen. It doesn't really look like it's going to push back up, but you know, there's evidence to the left to say that that is a support line. Should have gone to 4 hour. Would have been quicker. Maybe it wasn't that one that had support there previously. No, it doesn't. So there's another one that looked similar that had it. So that one there is kind of bouncing off there. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. Bell's another one that kind of looks a little bit like Bitcoin in that it's just kind of sitting there and deciding what it wants to do in that triangle. So again, there's a few there that look like they could be ready to go. So if you're not charting at the moment and you're kind of waiting for something, I'd probably recommend you get on and do some charting in the next 24 hours and just see what's there for you and what you're seeing. Because as you can see, a lot of them are just kind of sitting there. This one's sat in a channel. I don't really like that setup, to be honest. I'd probably redraw that if I had my time again. And this one's formed a bit of a wedge over the last couple of weeks. So, sorry, a channel over the last couple of weeks. So I've just drawn that as a channel just to kind of show myself that that's following that. I could have just drawn that as a trend line straight down there as a descending wedge, but I decided to put it as a channel because I kind of picked up that that's really sitting in that little pocket there. So I'm just going to kind of see where that goes. And if it breaks up out of this channel, then I might take something short term as a long. And if not, it might fall through. And then I'll see what it does kind of out of this zone here before I enter it. So maybe something that might look more like starting down here somewhere and see where we go. Obviously, I'd probably draw this up properly, but something more like that, let it fall through there. And if it falls through, try and catch it. So there's just a few. If you know, if you want to have a quick screenshot of that, I'll leave it there for a sec. You could catch that, but it's pretty much just like a majority of the top coins that you'll see in the alphabetical order. But there's a little bit of action happening, Lewis, which we can't say that we've seen for a little while. What do you reckon?
Oh, mate. I don't know. I reckon there could be some trades out there. I'd probably be more inclined to take the trades that are at support rather than sort of try and catch any shorts at the moment. Because there's a lot of coins that have lost like significant support levels. And I'll chuck my screen up again. And when it comes to like charting some of these coins, I'll find one here. Like for instance, DOT. If I was charting this, like it's lost. It had sort of a major support level probably through there. Previous one like up around here somewhere. And now we've just lost this level down here. It's like where do you look for a target if you're going to be shorting this? This one's poor example. It's got a bit of previous structure, but a lot of the coins, a lot of the alts that we trade these days have only been around for sort of like 18 months, 2 years, and they've never seen lows like this before. So I'd just be careful. Unless you're in the game of like open-ended shorts and just sort of see how low they can go, that's up to you. But if you're looking for like structured trades with take profits and that, you won't have a lot of history on a lot of the alts at the moment, just because they haven't been around. They haven't been around in these like market cycles, so they're sort of testing new lows and trying to find bottoms still. So
and a few of them aren't surviving either.
Oh yeah, like you see like the amount that have been delisted from OKX and that sort of stuff, and that's purely because of volume. Just no one's trading them. And you got to think like if coins have low volume and you're getting in a short, you need to be able to fill your order at the bottom. And if that volume's not there, you might not necessarily be able to fill your orders. So just be a little bit careful, especially bigger orders. It's not too bad with smaller orders, but
and again,
something
at this
to be
stage,
cautious
like
of.
when you're trading off support, you're looking for the longs, and when you're looking for the longs, you're looking for short-term longs. You might get yourself found out if you're looking for a long that's going to go for a month. So just be careful. There's definitely some coins bouncing off support that could be worth a look, which I showed you some there. So that's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say something else to consider as well is just keep your eyes on those lists of coins that they're delisting, because if you're in trades when they delist them, it'll just close your position automatically, regardless of if you're in profit or loss. So stuff like I saw that they're like OKX is delisting YFII, which I see like a lot of people share trades and that sort of stuff in the chat. They're still actively trading this coin. I'm not 100% on when the delisting date is. I know it's coming up soon, but like if you're in a trade on this coin, when they delist it, it'll just close you out of your position regardless of if you're in profit or not.
Run?
Yeah.
You didn't like it that much, right?
You're gonna have to do the muting, Damo.
Got him.
Mr. Host.
Got him.
Swatted him.
Got him. I won't mention any names.
One of these other ones that's traded a lot I saw was delisting as well. It was at XMR or something, XLM. One of the X ones.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was a bit surprised. IOTA's gone.
IOTA. Yeah.
And that's not to say that you can't trade them. You just can't trade them on OKX.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. They might still be available elsewhere.
I think you might even still be able to spot trade them. I just think it could just be the USDT contract pair that they're removing.
Yeah.
Like the leverage trading pair, but yeah, I was sort of waiting. Like a few of the setups I'm sort of looking for now is like the pullbacks. So like where we've had our drop, we've found a bit of a bottom. So I'm sort of looking for potentially a couple of pullbacks for shorts down, because I think we'll have a little bit of a pump. Well, not necessarily a pump, but a little bit of a couple of green candles at least, which would be enough to kick a few alts in the ass, enough to give them a bit of a run. Just because like on this support, we've got wicks to the bottom, we've got all of these sort of indicators that we're at least gonna hold this level for now. Like as far as like volatility events and that sort of stuff go, there's nothing really significant this week. I think there's a FOMC on like Thursday or something. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Outside of that, there's bugger all that's going to sort of trigger market volatility. So there should just be a bit of natural sort of movement for the time being, I think. So
yeah.
So
yeah.
one other thing as well. Ethereum is dumping pretty hard, even against BTC, because the wallet that hacked FTX and took like however much, like fucking $200 million worth of Ethereum or something, is now dumping all that Ethereum into BTC. So they're using third-party exchanges to turn it into BTC. So Ethereum's just sort of dumping pretty hard, and it probably will over the course of the next week. So just something else to be cautious of if you're analyzing Ethereum and looking for longs or anything. That's just something else to factor in.
Okay. Nice. Let's. I just want to show one thing quickly. Are you done there, Lewis?
Yep. Take it away, mate.
Thanks for that, mate. Just a quick one here with respect to. Just have to rejig these screens. I'm on a borrowed screen at the moment. Let's just say that you're going to take a little sneaky long off Ape here, right? So I just want to show you quickly for you guys that are trading on dollar trades, like for the $100 account. Let's just say that you want to look at something like that. That's totally a dummy, position size and stuff. I don't take this as financial advice at all, but it's just more how to set it up with respect to your trade. I've got a couple of people that contact me and say, "Oh, I'm putting in $1, but it's actually only making me 27 cents if I win a 3-to-1 or something like that." So I just want to kind of highlight the fact to you that you just need to make sure that your slider, particularly on OKX, and for the purpose of this, I'll just show you OKX. Let's just say that you want to take this trade. So you come over here to Alpha. So quickly change this to Alpha USDT perp, and you want to take a long on 10x, say. Let's just say that we take a market trade, and what I want to do is click on this TPSL. So the trigger price on this one is 080898, 0.0898. Oh, hang on, I've got to change that. 0.0898, and then stop loss is here at 0789. 0.07. Are you all excited to be watching me do this? 0.0789. So
I can hear you one finger typing, mate, from here. It's making me anxious.
I want to get it right, mate. How many do you use 4 or 5 fingers on 10 numbers?
Yeah, mate.
I do press pretty loud. Lewis is actually in the next room. So I want you to see here how the slider's sliding, and you can see these values changing. So these values down here. So this has actually got $75 in it at the moment. So if I want to trade $1, let's just say that I need to make sure that I'm sliding. So when you first start, you're probably tempted to slide 1%. So what people think is that if you're sliding to 1%, you're actually trading 1% of your account size, but you're in fact not even close to it at 12 cents. There is a stop loss. So you want to make sure that if you are sliding this across, it's matching the dollar as close to it as you can. Alternatively, a couple of episodes ago, I did put a way to work it out exactly to the dollar. So you can go back and watch that on our YouTube. But I think that was episode 4. So you're welcome to do that. But like, if you just want to kind of set it up so that it's close enough, you just got to make sure, and then see that says 8%, and you'll actually lose $1.11 if that trade goes pear-shaped on that one. So, I mean, I don't know if those numbers are totally accurate, etc. But this is, I guess, the learning of what I'm trying to show you is that if you slide that across and make your stop loss close to $1 if you're using a $100 account, then you'll actually get a more accurate trade. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys that, because a lot of people get that wrong when they first start. And I get asked that question a lot. Jayden, you still there, mate?
I'm still here.
So how are you feeling about what we shared there with respect to longs or shorts? What's your gut telling you? Not financial advice, of course.
Yeah, well, at this point in time, after looking at Bitcoin today, sort of done that little horseshoe sort of thing where it's sitting now. On the 4 hour, it's got some pretty good divergence, and it's double bottomed on the 1 hour, and it's got its little morning star now on the 1 hour. So I'd say you have that little short bounce up, I'd say, really. So I'm sort of looking at that short-term longing at the moment after, if there's other setups similar to that, which you sort of went through before.
Yeah.
That's something that I would be looking at this point in time.
16,188 is an interesting zone for 16.2 roughly. 16.2. It's a bit of a zone there, a bit of an EQ zone through there. So
agreed.
about
Agreed.
$500 away on the long side is a bit of an area of interest for me in respect to it could just drive straight back up to that, and then when it hits that, I'll kind of be looking at it again. So it's definitely interesting times, but crypto is well and truly alive. People say, oh, it's dying. Well, you know what? It's come from 10 cents sitting at 15 grand. I wouldn't mind being long-term invested in that chestnut. Louis, should we throw it out there, see if someone's got something?
Yeah, for sure. This is it. This is opportunity to share some charts, and even if you're new, if this is your first day and you want to know if your support and resistance is in the right spot, chuck up a chart. Let's critique it.
I see a couple of new people. Welcome, Tina. You are brand new. I think you joined in today, actually. But yeah, look, guys, this is your opportunity to get Lewis and myself and Jayden to analyze what you are doing, and that's what Tuesday night calls are all about. I know Amber's jumped on a couple of times before, and if anyone's got anything they want to share or anything that they think we might want to look at, or you want some help with Fibonacci or whatever it may be, now's your moment to get us live. And your interaction definitely helps others, really, because other people are probably sitting there with the same questions. So anyone out there want to have a chat or talk about something, or talk about your whatever, your new paint that you're choosing for your brick wall outside, or whatever, doesn't matter. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. How's your bub going, Louis, while someone's building up the courage to have a chat?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Put on lots of weight, and she's 2.5 weeks old now. Actually, no, 3 weeks today.
Longest
Shit.
3 weeks of your life, or what? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Your family might be watching. I see Matt Wainwright's turned himself on. Come on, let's go, mate. What do you got?
Hey, I've got something for you.
Here we go.
It's on DYDX. I just want you guys' opinion. Like, I've just been playing around with it. I've finished a little bit of the Alleviate course, and how do I screen share on this?
See that big fat green screen share at the bottom of your screen, mate? Just click on that, and then double click on the window you want to share. Here we go.
It's one here.
So, Matt, you've been in with us for what, a week or two?
8 days, man. 8 days.
How good's that? 8 days in, sharing screens on Tuesday night with Leverage with Lewis and Damo.
I wouldn't say I'm all over. I'm trying to be, but I know you shouldn't force Fibonacci and all that, but I just saw down from here. Where do you get the little paintbrush here? Something like that. I don't know. I saw down here.
Yep.
You can come up for here and then to the highest point.
Yep.
And that brings out, nope. And then that brings that out through here. And I know you shouldn't force Fibonacci, but I just saw it coming up over here. I was playing around with it. I've got my trend lines there. I did zoom out and look left, and they do match up with some of the things over here.
Yeah.
That has hit resistance and support and broke through the support and then come back down. And you can see I thought there was like a bit of an inverted W, like your head and shoulders sort of thing.
Can you just zoom out a little bit so we can see this a little bit better? Like zoom out as if you're kind of taking 5 steps back. So yeah, squeeze it down and then give us a bit of a better look. Yeah, so just come back to where you've drawn your fibs now. So you've got the...
Oh, I'm just watching.
Just trying to make sense of the colors.
Oh yeah, so I've got it so I can, because I'm a little bit colorblind, so I've got them so they're really vibrant towards me. So sorry.
Well, it's all right, mate. We
That's
don't
good.
discriminate against colorblind people. We love them. So
So are you looking at a trade here?
I potentially was as it coming up, and I was looking at a little bit of a short through down to the 127 level through here.
Okay.
I see what you've done. You've drawn it high to low.
Yeah.
I'd probably be Can you delete the fibs and we'll start again?
You've drawn it from low to high. So the rule is like if you're looking for shorts, you want to draw from high to low because you're looking for that retracement back up for a continuation down. And then if you're looking for longs, you draw it from low to high because then you're looking for that pullback before continuation further up. So
yeah. So what are you looking for, mate? Shorts or longs? Or you don't know?
Short.
Okay. So what Lewis just said there.
So from high to low.
No. So you're going backwards.
Yeah.
Because you're only sort of moving forward. So like if you're looking for the bullish scenario, you'd start your fibs there and you'd finish them up here. Okay. And if you're looking for the short scenario, you have to assume that this is the bottom where we are now, and you draw it from up here down to here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Because
personally, if you're looking for shorts on that, you'd want to wait a little bit longer to see it turn around because you need the bottom to be drawing the short. So at the moment, that's, to me, Lewis, you can support or deny me here. To me, that's kind of hasn't really decided if that's the bottom or not. There's not enough evidence there for me to decide whether or not that's the bottom.
Yeah.
You'd almost be wanting that to kind of reject a little bit more. It could potentially be. So draw it back in there. Let's just say that it is, and draw from high to low. Draw your fibs in again from high to low. Yep. So draw it to the wick. Don't draw it beyond. Only draw it to the wick. Have you found the wick there?
Yeah, that was the wick. Yep.
Okay, good. Righto. So what you'd be doing is you'd wait for that to come back to the point of previous. So can you just zoom back out so we can see to the left a little bit? So you can see that there's a bit of a zone there around the 38 that it might come and retrace back to.
Yep.
And then, so something like that, what Lewis has just drawn in there, that's what you'd be looking for. So you wouldn't be looking to enter a short on that until such time as it came back and tested that resistance line, which sort of lines up with that 38.2.
Okay, so I had the fib around the wrong way, so I had it drawn from here to up here.
Yeah, so if you did that though, that's not a bad way to draw it. So if you can just delete that fibs again, so do you understand that part before you delete it?
Yeah, yep. So you draw it from high to low and then come down here, and how Lewis had it there and then come down.
Yeah. So if you delete that, and let's do it in the other way, if you're looking for a long, and then draw it from down there where you were going to draw it. Yep, from there up to 26 point whatever it is. Yep. So you can see that it's come back down to the 61.8. So chances are it could reject there and go long, in which case you'd be looking to ride that up to the 27 or the 0, probably start with the 0. Yeah, more like that.
And inverse horseshoe. So
yeah. So you can actually draw from the 61.8 up to the 0 and catch it as a long.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But if I was going for a short, it will be on this other side down. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So there's more evidence in that trade as a long because it's gone up, changed direction, and come back to a rejection point.
Yeah.
Which is up here, but it's just holding resistance. So it's come down through here, come up, go down through here. Sort of looks like it's going sideways, but it may come up to a horse, like an inverted horseshoe, like Lewis was saying.
Yeah, and you don't really have the market structure confirmation for either direction yet because like you've got your low down here. Like this could be like higher high. This could be your higher low that's forming here. So then you could end up with like another higher high up here somewhere. You don't have enough market structure yet to sort of suggest what the market's going to do.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit risky.
Well, no, that's why I was asking. Like, Damien said, don't be afraid to ask questions, and I thought,
no, it's good. It's good.
I'm asking questions. I'm sure someone else probably would have had the same question in thought in their mind as well. So
I can guarantee you that everyone sitting on this call and listening to us on YouTube, hope you've all subscribed, has actually had that question. What the hell is this fibs thing? You know, I understand where you're coming from, so I'm more than happy for you to jump on, and like, good on you for doing that. And it's something that I reckon that someone sitting here looking at this right now would have actually gone, oh yeah, okay, that makes more sense. So no, appreciate it, mate. Is there something else you want us to look at while we're here?
Hang on,
No, I was just playing around with that, man. Anastasia showed me a course call that the lady elaborated a bit more on that. I was able to set up my fib perfectly on that, so it was good.
And Phil,
Brendan's just said in the chat to have a look at that chart on the 1 hour, DYDX on the 1 hour. So take the time frame down and see what else it tells us.
just while you're doing that, Phil actually did a call as well. So if you want a little bit more of an opinion on fibs, I think the last 2 or 3 weeks he's done a call on fibs. So it might be worth watching that one as well.
Yeah.
So what do we see here? So there's
it's testing it.
So it's testing it. So this is obviously quite a strong support level. You've got support at the moment. So I mean, it's tested this level multiple times over this time period. However, in saying that, you've got a pretty good trend that's formed on the 1 hour here. Like you see, there's quite a strong sort of downtrend there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that, you wouldn't really be confident to enter it. Well, I wouldn't anyway. Everybody's different. Trade off your own criteria and whatever you're comfortable trading, but I wouldn't be confident entering a short until there's confirmation that this support level is going to break. It's quite a strong support level, just based off what we can see in the markets, in the previous market data there. So, and then like you've got your high risk entry is, you know, if you want to try and get into short and catch that move before it goes through, or your safer entry is when it breaks through that level, you get in off the pullback and then the continuation down.
Yeah, because what was the lady saying? If there's a pull up, always expect to pull back. If there's a pull back, they always expect to pull up. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The market never goes in one direction forever. It always has recovery, and it needs to have a recovery for the market to continue moving. Like even in a bull run, you need the pullbacks, you need the red candles for the market to continue going bullish.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing ever goes in one direction forever, except Shiba Inu, which will go to the moon forever. But let's not talk about that. not financial advice.
Yeah, but that's what I've learned in the last 8 days, man. Everyone's been a real good help. So, and I'm just putting myself out there, being a part of it all, and trying to learn as much as I can.
No, good on you, mate, for taking the step to do so, because you know, we've all been there, and we've all taken that initial stage, and it is overwhelming when you start, but you'll see in a couple of weeks that you're firing away, mate. So you've got some pretty good knowledge already, so good on you.
Well, I've just learned all that knowledge from everyone else. So yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I learned everything I know from Lewis Bell.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
I learned everything I know from Warren Buffett. I was his apprentice for a while.
Yeah. Hey, Gabriella's asked us to look at Ant. Lewis, you want to take that on? You want me to?
I can chat her up quickly if you want, mate.
Well, let's go.
Let's go.
You're on.
Let's see what we got here. Let's have a look-see. I was actually just seeing if Bitcoin's going to horseshoe quickly. Just going against my own analysis from before, but you know, you've got to read what the market's giving you. You can have as much bias as you want, but
Right.
you've got to
Don't enter too early is the rule.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing, Ant? What do we got on Ant? Ooh.
I don't really know, but she's just throwing it up there.
I don't know what
your
I'm drawing.
chart, I had it. Oh, my chart. Did I have Ant drawn up? Oh, I did too. Look at that. Okay. All right. I got a fibs on Ant from low to high, and it's sitting currently on the 50.
So you're looking at this continuation here.
Yeah, potentially bouncing off the 50 and heading upward. Yeah, so it's sitting on the 50 at the moment. So yeah, it's potential there that it could push up. I'm actually going to wait for the candle that kind of engulfs that little bit of sideways action there in the last couple of candles, and just see what that looks like.
And this is where trading is completely subjective, because my initial thought on something like this would be a horseshoe,
Mm.
because based off market, like it's bearish market structure to me. So it's like high, lower low, lower high. What's happening here? Who knows? But I mean, I don't know. We've got that market structure that's sort of suggesting bearish to me, but I don't like that. Regardless, as a trade setup, it's just a bit messy for my liking.
If it was a horseshoe, it's only going to be, if you're playing it safe, not even.
You've missed the entry. If it was a
Yeah,
horseshoe, you've
missed
missed
the
the
entry.
entry.
Yeah,
You want to get it up here. Like you've got no risk reward now, because you want to sort of at least clear. Realistically, you want to clear that wick. So it's
Yep.
like, what if you want, and for horseshoes, you want to take it down to previous low.
It's 1
What
to
you've
1.
got a 1-to-1.
Yeah,
It's not
it's not
it's not
worth
a
it.
trade.
It's not
Not a
worth it.
trade, mate. Yeah.
I would be, yeah, I just kind of drew it up and thought, well, maybe it might bounce up. If Bitcoin goes up, then it could bounce off that 50. But yeah, I'm not committing to that one necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think there's a trade there. I wouldn't go chasing a trade. God, that's been going sideways for a long time. Look at that. It's just April, just in that channel, bouncing around.
Yeah, but there's nothing left. So
Yeah,
it's
mate,
one of
look at
those
that.
danger ones.
Just look at that fall too. That's this is so many of the alts at the moment. Hey, 90% down nearly from all-time high. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
And this is where we have the big shakeout in the bear market. Like these, coins like this either go sideways now at this level for another 12 months, or they just drop off the face of the earth and that's it. See you later. Bye, Ant. Might never see you again. You know? So this is like the giant shakeout. Actually, so one other thing I wanted to touch on quickly as well, with like caution in the market, like the FTX stuff that happened, everybody's across that, like second biggest exchange in the world, completely crashed. They over leveraged all their customers' funds, and everybody who had money on that exchange couldn't get it back. It's going through like forced liquidation at the moment of assets to try and sort of recoup some of the money for some of the investors. And they issued a warning earlier this morning in the US, just about they have the ability to try and recall funds and assets that have been loaned out to other exchanges. So just be really, you hear everybody preaching it at the moment, just be really, really cautious about holding your money on exchanges at the moment, regardless of how trustworthy you think the exchange is. Not your keys, not your crypto. Okay, that's just the rule at the end of the day. And you might only have a $500 trading account or something like that, but what if OKX went insolvent, or just liquidated overnight? Would it hurt to lose that $500? Like, can you afford to do that? Like, it's just stuff you got to consider. Just think about other options as far as like storing your money at the moment, because it's a very, very uncertain time. We're on the brink of regulation. We've just had like a major exchange collapse. The market's like at record lows. Just lots of uncertainty. Like, if anybody looks at that sort of fear and greed index on Bitcoin, like, we're extreme fear at the moment. We're nearly right at the bottom, which means the sentiment in the market is like everybody's so uncertain of what's about to happen in crypto. So, which means anything could happen. So just be really, really cautious. Proceed with extreme caution.
And in saying that, you've also got the opportunity to stick with some of the bigger coins with a lot more liquidity, just for peace of mind. Some of these coins are disappearing, so it might make you a quick dollar, but it might also lose you a quick dollar. So just be a bit safer and perhaps go with some of the ones that are a little bit more mainstream, if that's a word to use with crypto. Anyone else got something to throw up there? How about Matt?
Or a question or anything like that, or
student of the day? Sol. Gabriella's throwing up Sol. Lewis, you're on.
Gabriella's throwing it up. Hey?
She's throwing it up. Her speaker's actually broken. Huh? She'd probably talk to us. I reckon by this time next week she'll have it fixed and we'll be hearing her on the airwaves.
One day.
One day.
What do we got here? This is another one that's at support.
Maybe she could win a Sol trade and then she could afford to fix a microphone.
What do we got in this zone here? So this was like a historical sort of EQ. area through this zone where we're sitting right now. We lose this current level, you're probably looking at sort of like this EQ around here. You lose that level, you know, that your next low is sort of down here. So these are the levels that I'd be looking at with Sol at the moment. Because this is a coin that I'd see. I'm getting a bit fundamental with these sort of coins. Like Sol was like essentially propped up by FTX, like they were the major investors in it. So I mean, that's the reason, half the reason like this coin's just absolutely dipped out, more so than other alts, is because of its ties to FTX. So is it going to survive? I hold, like, it's one of the very, very few coins that I actually hold, because I genuinely believe it has a future. The amount of stuff that's been constructed on that network, like it's got the biggest gaming presence out of all of the crypto networks as well. The amount of developers that are building games on this network, and like metaverse and gaming and that sort of stuff, still a massive, massive player in the future. So I think Sol's got a future, but
And
at
the
the
NFT
moment,
influence with Sol as well. I mean,
yeah,
when I
100%.
started with NFTs, Sol kind of didn't really have too much of a presence, but that's kind of lifted in the last 12 months with Ethereum playing games. So Sol NFTs have become quite popular. So yeah, I'm with Lewis in the fact that I believe that it's got some longevity, but at the moment it's just making up its mind, isn't it?
She's going
Yeah.
to the moon.
One day, you
I
reckon,
reckon it
Jayden? You
will.
reckon it's going to the moon? You
Now,
going
have you
with it?
seen the market structure on the monthly time frame or 3 monthly one?
What for this?
Yeah, for Sol, I think it's either 1 month or 3 monthly, the market structure.
Let's have a squizzy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the rocket
It's-
ship one. Yeah, I've
It's doing
seen
this
that
rocket
meme.
ship and
It's
it's getting
cruising
ready
around.
to hit
Yeah,
the moon.
yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah,
like it.
I know what you're saying. All you need is, where is it? We just need
Is
like
that a
little bit
rocket
of
ship, Lewis, or is that something else?
what else would it be, mate?
Oh, just I don't know, like maybe a lava lamp or something.
A head with no shoulders.
Look pretty similar to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
That was impressive that you did that. That was very. Did you freehand that?
Yeah, I just drew that quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Sorry, I turned away and suddenly there was a rocket looking at me. It's good.
I think short term bearish. Is there a trade on this at the moment? Not like you would have had like a short here where you had this break of this level. Came back for the retest, and you've had this little move down here. At the moment, like you've potentially got something like that if we have that sort of continuation down at the bottom of this descending triangle. And that would probably sort of, you see where the 50 EMA is as well. Like that would probably sort of marry up quite nicely with that, like a rejection off that sort of thing. If you had a trade like that, that's probably the sort of setup that I'll be looking for at the moment on Sol. But I mean, we're at the bottom, we're at a major support level, the bottom of a descending triangle in a bear market. So I'd be waiting on this one. I just don't think there's anything there at this moment.
Gabriella's calling $6. Short it down, buy it $6 and hold it. That's a bold prediction. You heard it here first, everyone.
$6, eh? What's $6?
No,
that
I
the
don't
magic
know.
zone?
Where'd you get $6, Gabriella? Just looks like a nice round number, I guess. There's something there at $6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A little
550.
bit of a
So
jink
do you
there.
get
Its
that
first
little
move was off $6.
that little move in there? Yeah, that's $6, pretty much on the dot. Imagine that, but oh man, $260, all-time high, delicious, love it.
There's a question there from Marty CLP that says, "Am I able to use the perps swap contract to trade in Binance Exchange, or should I look for some different pair to trade in Binance? I'm not a Binance guy."
Yeah, like a perp. So a perp contract. This is what I'm on here. If you have a look at the top of the chart, so this is the coin I'm looking at, Sol, so Solana. The base currency that I'll be trading is Tether USDT, so that's what that means, so USDT, and it's a perpetual swap contract. So I'll be able to find this same pair on Binance. I think that's the perpetual swap, or is that spot? That must be the spot one. Yeah, I probably won't find it because you can't actually see if it's a perp on oh no, there it's somewhere here. But yeah, you can use there it is. So this will be your Binance Sol perp futures. That's what the equivalent to what I was just looking at on OKX. That's what it'll be on Binance. So it'll be called perpetual futures. What perpetual futures mean is just there's no, so I don't know if you're familiar with like contracts. You can have like quarterly contracts and weekly contracts and bi-weekly contracts and that sort of stuff. That's a big like options trading thing that shares in that used to have, or still have, sorry. And all a perpetual contract is it's the same principle, except it doesn't have an end date. So if you're trading like a weekly contract, your trade will automatically close at the end of a week, whereas a perpetual contract will just run indefinitely, and you just pay fees generally hourly based off like how long you have the trade open. And then you need to have a look at maker and taker fees as well, because there's two different fee levels depending if you're longing and shorting. But a lot of perpetual futures contracts, if you're holding them for long periods of time, will hurt you in fees, regardless of your position size. So just something to be cautious of. Like, don't jump into trades too early if it hasn't really made a decision yet, because if you end up holding for a long period of time, it's going to hurt you in fees. So, but yeah, perp on Binance will be fine. It's exactly the same as what we're looking at here. Depending what country you're in, will sort of determine what level of leverage you get access to, whether you are looking at leverage trading or not. That's up to you. But like I know in Australia, you don't have access to leverage on Binance for the perp pairs and that sort of stuff. That's why a lot of us use OKX. But yeah, Binance is a brilliant exchange, and I'd love to be able to trade on Binance. It's by far my favorite.
Yeah, I started there, but kind of coincided with difficulties in doing that. Anyone else got anything they want to share before we wrap it up? Now's your chance. Tina, you asked how often we do this. Once every week on a Tuesday night at 8:30. So 8:30 Queensland time, we jump on. Lewis and I are both in Queensland, so we do this pretty much well for the more experienced, but as well as to give people the opportunity to jump on and introduce themselves, like Jayden's done tonight, and also just give new people the opportunity for a safe place to ask questions, like Matt did tonight, and Marty as well, just to ask some questions with respect to stuff. Lewis and I kind of just ad lib a little bit. We have some element of direction, but obviously we are
no, we don't.
No, let's be honest, we don't. And it's one of those. Well, we do. I do.
Yeah, we do a little bit.
We do a
little
bit.
Just
we get on at 8:28 and say, what are we going to do? No, but it's one of those things we just do it purely because we want to help people and we want people to get better. And I learn from what Lewis says, and Lewis learns nothing from me. So it's good. It's a win-win. So is there anything else from anyone else?
Hey, yeah, I've got one on Cell that we got told something about they were mucking around, but I was looking into it and waiting for the candles to form out, and they formed out a little bit. So I've just been governed between two computers here.
No, that's all right. Do you want Lewis to chart it up, or do you want to share? Do you want to tell Lewis what to do? Now's your moment to tell Lewis what to do.
Got one. Come here, boy. No.
Come here, boy.
No, I've done the charting up for him, and it's just this one here on Sell USD, and like.
Hang on. If you're trying to share, you're not sharing it. There you go.
Not sharing.
There you go.
You're up now.
Well, yeah, this one here, where you like tested support here, came back, broke through resistance, came back, come down to support, broke through resistance a couple of times, but then came back down. and I've drawn a trend line down here. It looks like it's possibly broken through resistance, and it's going to come down for a nice little short, maybe, or
What's to the left? Yeah, see nothing there. So if you zoom out to the 4 hour, does it pick something up? Yeah. So see that wick there? That's a danger wick. So what you want to do is draw a line there. So draw a line at the bottom of that wick, draw another support line, and just see how close it is to that, because that's a major rejection point. You can see how much that's pushed up. So if you go back to where you are, is there any meat in that sandwich? Maybe there is, but that'll help you probably get some sort of a bearing as to where that short may be targeting. You don't want to be trying to push beyond that at this point. So you might set a take profit at that point, but how big is that position? So let's just say you were going to draw up a position size. You want to clear the wicks that sit inside that wedge. So you want to enter probably below those wiki wicks.
So when you're drawing support, like get used to drawing like using the rectangle tool and drawing like a bit of a box like this.
Yeah.
Where's the rectangle tool again?
So next to the brush.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Just
So
like
draw
that.
draw over what Lewis has just done there, your rectangle. You want to clear that probably. And then
So
is there anything left there by the time
just
you
to the
draw
bottom
your
of those
position?
wicks, yep.
By the time you draw your position as a stop loss above the wicks that are above the line, I don't know if there's too much there.
Ooh.
See, what you don't want to do when you're new, Matt, is you don't want to be forcing trades. So
No, I'm just playing around and having
Yeah.
a look at it, getting the feel for it first, and
Yeah.
getting others people's opinions and having a look at it. And because I don't have any money in my OKX account yet.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. And you know what? The best way to do it is do it with no money and just set those position sizes and then let the trades play out and archive that as a learning point.
Yeah, that's good. I'll actually do that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when I first started, and even sometimes now, I'll just draw the position and go, I'm not overly convinced. Similar to Ant one there, that fibs level where Lewis said don't enter. I'm not going to enter any money into that, but I'm just going to watch it and I'm going to draw a position just to see if what I thought may actually come true.
Yeah, because what I'm doing at the moment, I'm filling everything out in my trade journal as well and doing everything and slowly getting used to hang of everything and writing down what candles I see and everything else. And because I've noticed there was an inverted hammer for here and it came down for here, and that might play out as sort of like an evening star sort of thing that might come down. Or
And one thing I can assure you is the market doesn't care what your gut feeling is.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Doesn't care.
Yeah,
So
like my ex.
So just that's right. Just keep an eye on that. Just for learning purposes. There's one there, the SP 500, Lewis, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. I was just going to say quickly, like you can't discredit wicks either. Like wicks are part of price action. So when you're drawing support, trend lines, all that sort of stuff, you need to consider wicks. Okay. You can't just completely discredit them because you got to remember to form a wick, price has been to that level. So there's potential for it to return to that level. There's potential orders sitting around those levels. So you can't just completely discredit them. So
well, wicks tell the story, don't they?
Oh, it's all part of the picture.
Yeah.
Wicks, bodies, it's all part of the picture, bro. S&P. So still underneath the downtrend. I love charting this. It's so clean to chart. Maybe it's just my charting that's really clean. I don't know, but still in this downtrend. So what we've had is I always just leave this charted. So we had our this move down. I was sort of expecting a continuation down off this EQ level here that I have this yellow box drawn, but we managed to break through that. Now we come down and now we're going to retest the top of it. So short term, definitely looking more bullish than it has been since January, since the start of the year essentially. But the only problem is we're still well and truly underneath this downtrend. So I wouldn't sort of expect any sort of bullish scenario until we break that downtrend and then we had some sort of move like this. That's the only time it's to be bullish. Still well and truly bearish on the biggest sort of time frame on S&P. Like I'm still expecting I'm still expecting a pullback, and it sort of ties into the economic stuff too. Like S&P pulls back as the economy sort of pulls back, and with interest rate rises and that, like things are going to be tight for, you know, the next sort of 6 to 12 months. So you're not going to see any. You'll just see like a slow bleed and stuff like this. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we had like, what's this move end up being? Where's my shift key? There. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we had like another 10% sort of.
Gabriella, just while Lewis is kind of wrapping up his analysis there, is there something specific in there you want us to look at? You see Gabriella move forward, jumps on a keyboard, pounces on it because she can't speak, because she can't afford a microphone, because her trade went downhill last week. She's selling the kids to pay for the electricity next week. How good is it?
It's like the Great Depression all over.
Isn't it?
They made some pretty good recipes though.
She's eating a surfboard. She's shorting it.
Shorting it.
Just wanted Lewis's outlook. Well, whatever he says, it's got to come true.
Yeah, I'm still definitely like, if you're looking at like long-term shorts, I think that's definitely a good play. I think he could potentially have like a little bit of a short-term bounce here maybe, and rejection of the trend. Worst case scenario, but I think we're still sort of going down long term.
There's probably enough meat in there to put your stop loss above that trend line, is there? If let's just say you're going to ride that down to your blue line, is there enough meat there to do that?
Depending what your trade plan is, like you get a 2-to-1 out of it.
2-to-1, yeah.
That's sort
Still
of
potential to enter there and be relatively as safe as you can be on a lower leverage, or it'll actually stop it out because OKX likes to take its little piece of the pie before it gets out of there. So when you put leverage trades on OKX, sometimes they can stop out before your actual projection because OKX has a buffer. So be conscious of that one.
Yeah, very very long term, Gabriella. I'd just be watching that trend for sure. Like if you're in a short, I'd be staying in it until we have that break of that trend. So I'd be looking at, and yeah, I think that's a good way to do it, the way that you're doing it too. As a ETF for sure. Safest option. So.
All right. Might wrap it up, Lewis? Let these fine people go to bed.
Yep. Myself included. I'm an old man now.
Yeah, you are. What are you, 28?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, no worries. So thank you for jumping on, everyone. Feel free to jump on and subscribe on our videos. Any one of our videos has the red button on it. You can just click on that. So feel free to jump on that. Do appreciate you jumping on at the start there, Jayden, and adding your input along the way, mate. The sun's not even set in WA yet, has it?
Oh yeah, it's 7:30.
Only just. All right. So so thanks, mate, for jumping on. And Jayden was supposed to be our guest last week, but he was pretty crook. So we had NFT Jack jump on. So thanks for that, Jayden. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate it. And for all you guys that are still here, we appreciate you jumping on and sharing your charts, etc., etc. So I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Love your work.
See ya.